Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Brett Franklin in studio as we wrap up our show, getting into some more NFL talk. We have Patriots to talk about. Seems like we can always talk football, whether it's quarterbacks, whether it's Patriots.
It's the year-round sport.
Exactly.
Why not?
They like it that way. Clearly making news this week about some rule changes. We'll get into those. But first, let's talk some Patriots. We talked about their draft, only 4 draft picks. This team looks like they are setting up for a 2-year run this year and next year, when they are hoping Brady's going to be healthy, he's going to be fine. Gillislee, Hogan will be there. They've got Stephon Gilmore.
Just re-upped Rob Gronkowski.
Yes. So do you feel like this is a wise move, or do you think this is something a little bit out of character for the Patriots, where they're not really, not saying they're not building to the future, but they're kind of putting all their eggs in this 2-year basket?
Yeah, I would say so, and I think that you look at years past where that same question came up, are they building for the last years of Tom Brady? No, this is actually the real last couple of years for Tom Brady, because he's going to be 40. They're looking towards the future here, and I think he's only got, 3 years left on his deal?
Yeah.
So I think when we look at this Patriots team, they know they're stacked. They know they've got the cap room. It's almost like we've kind of been building for this for a while here. But, I mean, some of the moves they've made, Stephon Gilmore going out in free agency there, Brandon Cooks making a huge deal on that trade, which they usually don't make those kind of trades, as we've seen. And then Rob Gronkowski, as we saw earlier today, they reworked his deal, more incentive-based now. So if he gets 80 catches, 1,200 yards, or an All-Pro selection, he makes his money. He'll be the highest paid tight end. And I like that because it'll make sure that he wants to stay on the field. Right. But yeah, Patriots gearing up. The AFC's weak. They see their window now.
Right.
Why not? And I like it.
Yeah, and exactly. And good point there, because the AFC is kind of weak. Obviously, their division.
Who's going to challenge them this year? I mean, honestly, who is going to challenge the Patriots and give them a serious challenge? People will say Oakland. What's Carr's health when he's going to be coming back?
And they're still not even to that level yet. I think they're up and coming and they're good, but are they a challenger yet? Pittsburgh is the only one, and they're still fading. They're older.
Big Ben didn't even want to play this year.
Right, exactly. And yeah, I know they got better on the defensive side of the football, but did they get good enough?
No.
So I agree that it's this 2-year window and they're trying to do something. Is this team, people have talked about it, maybe it's crazy, is this team as good as the 2007 undefeated regular season team? Obviously they don't have a Randy Moss, but the depth may be better.
Can't believe you brought up that year. That's like a year we don't ever want to bring up here in Patriot land.
If they win the Super Bowl, they'll be better. Yes.
Yes. Like I said, I think this team wins 14 games this year,
right, yeah.
And they do kind of have that over-the-top threat with Brandon Cooks. But I think they learned from that mistake, Jeremy, and I think they're going to stay true to the form. If they have Gronkowski out there, Brandon Cooks, Amendola, Julian Edelman, I mean, my goodness, what defense is going to stop this team?
Right.
And even if Brady, knock on wood, if, Brady stays healthy, you do have Jimmy Garoppolo waiting in the wings. I mean, this team's got to be the favorite in the AFC no matter what, and I expect them to go 14-2 this year.
And really, I don't even see, like you said, okay, Raiders maybe, Steelers maybe, but I don't even see anybody in the NFC who's a legitimate. Obviously, the Packers are always going to be there.
But they don't have a defense.
They don't have a defense. The Seahawks' offensive line is still in shambles. Falcons, that Super Bowl loser hangover is always there. Can the Cowboys do it? I think you're right as saying they have looked at the landscape and they have said, we're going for blood. We're going to try and win 3 straight Super Bowls if we can do it right now.
Yeah,
why wait around?
Just keeping the misery of the AFC East for other non-Patriots fans. It brings a lot of joy to myself.
So the NFL made some rule changes this year, or this week. Overtime rule was one of the, I don't know if I'd say bigger ones, but more publicized one. Mm-hmm. What's the point of that? They're changing the rules from a 15-minute overtime to a 10-minute to save 0.6% of plays.
It doesn't make sense, really. And when you look at it, they say it's in the name of player safety. They say it's, so if a team has to play on a Thursday night and they play into overtime, it's not a competitive disadvantage. I mean, there's just going to be more ties, right? I mean, how many ties did we've had over the past couple of years? And I remember Donovan McNabb saying he didn't know if there could be ties in the NFL. Yes, there are ties, and I think we're going to see more of them. I mean, if we don't want overtime, then just get rid of it.
Right.
And then maybe that brings a little bit more excitement into the fourth quarter where more teams go for late 2-point conversions. Maybe it changes it up a little bit. But if you don't want overtime, then just get rid of it. Let's not try and dance around the issue here. We're going to see more ties because of this.
And it seems like You're right. Ties aren't a bad thing. I mean, I know it's not as most exciting, and as United
Vegas
States,
hates it.
that's true. U.S. sports fans, we don't like to see ties, but they have them in football all the time, soccer throughout the world.
As somebody said to me, if the NHL gets rid of ties, then I think that's showing something there where it stands on that level.
All right, and then the other rule, the celebration rule. They're going to relax a little bit, supposedly. I guess you can celebrate with a teammate, you can celebrate with the ball, but you still cannot use a bow and arrow, a pantomime of bow and arrow, because it's a weapon.
I don't even know what to say about this anymore. I mean,
I just know you're such a big Roger Goodell fan.
I just, remember Joe Horn going underneath the goalpost there and pulling out the flip phone. Yeah, there was flip phones back in the day, kids. I mean, it's football. Let's have some fun out there. I'm sick and tired of trying to legislate fun. The NFL, the no fun league,
right.
Let's go out there and have some fun here, people. I just think that enhances the brand more. It gets more people involved. I saw Marvin Lewis say, "Oh, what about the children?" Come on, they've got enough bad influences. Dancing on the football field's not going to be one of them.
All right, 3 months until football season pretty much begins, so lots to get to and lots to talk about as the summer progresses.
YCN Sports Talk Picks of the Week are brought to you by Salt Hill Pub, with locations in Lebanon, Hanover, Newport, and Newberry. Whether you're in the mood for a quick lunch, a great steak, their signature fish and chips, a fresh salad, or the best burger in town, Salt Hill Pub has you covered. And yes, everything on their lunch and dinner menu is available for takeout.
All right, now it's time for our picks, and only one pick left on the board. That is Thursday night, Game 5 in Boston, Cavs-Celtics. Brett, who you got?
Well, I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics, Game 5. I don't know why. I just feel like this team, they played really well in Game 4. They gave it all they had. This team has some fight to it. I don't care what other people say. They're playing for the head coach. They'll win one more in front of the home crowd, and then Cleveland wins it in 6.
And I agree, actually, with that pick. Once again, I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy, but Celtics, they played hard in Game 3, no quit. I know they fell apart in the second half of Game 4, but I think they come back, the home crowd gets them energized, and they win this one, send it back to Game 6.
Focus on the draft,
we'll
then.
We'll see what happens. Thanks again to Brett Franklin of ESPN Radio for the Upper Valley, 94.5 FM. Don't forget to tune in to his show every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, and then replays here on YCN at 6 p.m. YCN Sports Talk premieres every Wednesday night at 7:30. Thanks for watching.